Max Tac Scared Mags.
So it's this TGR2 Scared Arms. We've got a 10 round or 12 round in it now. I got 4 more mags here. We're just going to cycle them straight through, and I'm just going to keep feeding them mags, and we're going to go that way, and we're going to see if we get any breaks. In the mags, they're sitting pretty well. We did take the tension, so they're not rattling around too much. Like they do feel a little bit brittle, but not super bad, so I would recommend bringing the tension up so they just don't rattle around bad in your vests or whatever.
They really had 2 barrel breaks too.
Yeah, so far we've tested probably 10, 12 guns.
Well, it came out of mine and hit the flash hider, but other than that,
I mean, other than that, it's been good so far.
T9 suppressor brake. So
we're gonna start cycling through. What'd you say that was?
12 rounder.
All right, and we got 4 18s. We're just gonna keep feeding them in, shoot them out, and see what happens. All right, good to go. You want to step back a little, I think, right about there.
All right, so barrel bag off, charge, and we're hot.
Okay. So far, so good.
I find if I shoot them a bit faster, the chalk would be more like easy.
Do whatever.
Oh, there's one.
But did it break in the barrel, or?
It was a barrel break. Breech is completely clean.
Okay, so.
We got a T9 here still.
You don't have the clip for it. Oh, do you? Okay, we're good. We do got a T9.
I believe we got some air for it. That's her.
Alright. So, just to clarify, the one brake we did have in the mag fed was a barrel brake. It was not a breech brake. It wasn't caused by spring tension. We're going to check it just to be sure, but that's the way it looks through the peep window.
Barrel's still clean.
Alright, so it probably rattled off the end of the bird cage is what happened on that, and it broke.
There's not even any paint on it.
So, I mean, it is what it is. We just shot through 4 18s and 1 10. Have one kind of break. Other than that, we've had no problems. I'll shoot a quick video and paste it in here somewhere, the other guns that we used to try this out. We tried everything from an old style Splatmaster, Tracer, Tippmann 98, an old Piranha, an Ego, a Impulse. We had a good selection, so if you have any questions, either shoot myself a message or Buddy here. And
or even on the page.
Yeah, post them up to the page and we'll try and answer them for everyone.
Alright.
Perfect.
Okay.
So anyway, we just, as you've seen in the video there, we tested it out with MagFed. Turns out it wasn't actually Inka Gold, which we were all kind of concerned about. It's actually Inka Copper. So you can kind of do your own research on that, but from what we did with it, it actually wasn't that bad of a paint. Really thick fill. I just rubbed some on my shirt here a couple seconds ago. I'm going to wash it out tonight. That'll give it a good 2 hours to soak in, and I'll see if it stains and let you guys know. The fill on it's actually not that bad. See, that's the shell. It's actually not too thick. Fill inside is kind of a minty color. It's better on the rock there.
We busted it on a rock.
It's fairly thick. It's got like a nice tactile. Is that the word I'm looking for? It's got a nice texture. Thick. Doesn't wipe easy. Like you can see it on my shirt there. That was just a little bit on my finger. I went like that. And,
so that'd be like forced in there if that was a shot at like 280. So.
Yeah. As you might have seen on the about page there, the field limit here is 265. So, I mean, Buddy here was chronoed in at 270.
It was between, I was shooting between 265 275.
So we're right in that mark, maybe a few FPS over. We didn't bother chronoing it down because we figured if it was going to cause problems, higher velocities, it was going to be a problem. And everything we shot today, we went through a complete case minus maybe, I don't know what, 30, 35, 40 balls? Let's go with 40 balls.
Somewhere around there.
and we only had 3 breaks the entire time. All 3 of which were not actually in the mags or in the chambers. They're all in the barrel.
Actually, it was off of the flashlight.
Yeah,
Merge
so
gauge, as you can see.
that tip on the end of his, we broke 2 there, and we broke 1 in the mop suppressor in the 9.1. And the best idea I can come up with that is because both ends are a little overboard compared to the barrel, so once it got out there it might have shaken a little and cranked it, but the barrels all stayed clean, had no problems there.
I didn't have to clean my barrel once actually.
But yeah, all in all, for what it's worth, between Buddy and I, or me at least, it's not that bad paint.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased. I mean, I'd play with it for a day. I would pay to get a bag of that.
I didn't have any problems with it.
Also shot it full auto through an A5 B5, so.
Yeah, an A5 with a B5 conversion, that's in there, I'm not going to dig it out. Anyway, we filled the hopper, we stuck her on full auto, and we just held it open. So you can picture a cyclone feed, and we let her go. I think I had that set at around 15, 16 balls a second, which is over the field limit here, but we wanted to test it out good. Field limit here is only 8 balls a second. And not 1 break. Actually shot pretty good, it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I had
a lot of fun.
The Cyclone's usually pretty hard on paint too. So.
Yeah, Cyclones usually rip paint apart. I do have upgraded paddles in them, but they're not the super soft. They're just like literally the next setup. I was running reballs in it, so I put a little stiffer paddle in it, and no chops, no nothing. It's still squeaky clean inside. That's the other thing I liked about this paint. The outside of it wasn't greasy. Like sometimes with your bottom end paints, you'll get a really greasy film on the outside of them. This wasn't bad. I mean,
yeah,
it's got the typical packing grease on it, but it's not. I mean,
it was
actually
nice.
really nice.
It wasn't messy when you're starting to handle things.
And when we did have the breaks, it was pretty easy to clean up with a paper towel.
Oh, it was.
But I mean, as you can see, it's staying enclosed good, so you shouldn't have to worry about wipers.
Yeah, that's for all you wipers out there. Don't be wiping.
Other than that, like I said, bottom line, it's good. That's all I got. You got anything else?
I was pleased. I mean, the main question we're trying to answer here is, will it work good at MagFed? And I mean, it worked perfectly fine for me, and this gun's actually kind of hard on paint, so I mean, if it's working good for this, then like a 468 with a lock bolt or something like that, or you know, if you're running a TIPX or something like that, it should work just fine.
Yeah, we actually had it at a pretty good spring tension in the magazines there at one point too.
Yeah, we were pushing it like.
Didn't seem to break at all. The only thing I would recommend is it is a fairly small bore paint by the feel of it. Like just by the look and feel inside the magazines, it had a little bit of play back and forth. So if you're loading them into a MagFed gun, you might want to make sure
it's pressed up against the detent, or else it's gonna go flinging out when you go to do a fast reload or whatever. So
yeah, actually, when I was back there handing him magazines and talking to you earlier, I shook one of the mags and it had a little bit of play in it. I lost 3 balls at the end of it, but
yeah.
But once we snugged it up, didn't have any problems.
It was fine, just resting up against the detent. And I was cycling some mags, but just shooting fast.
No?
I'm satisfied with it, and if I'm satisfied, I think everyone else should be.
Alright guys, if you have any questions, post them on the page, we'll get back to you.
Right.
Thanks.